Hey guys, it's Patrick from the Wellness Enterprise. I'm sporting my reading glasses today along with a PowerPoint because this topic is controversial and it requires some footnotes so that we can perceive the truth. All I can say is that don't be fooled about the stories that were told in the mainstream. The connection between the corporations and the government and how it works to obfuscate things is really just unbelievable. And this is a great example of that. So I'm sharing my screen here and I'm going to share my little PowerPoint. So this is the fluoride story you've never heard before. So let's look at what fluoride is. So first off, fluorine is a natural element. And when you turn fluorine into a negative ion when it's F minus, that's what fluoride is. But the stuff that they put in water that the dentists and the spokespeople and the people who are fooled into participating in this unwittingly, they say that they're putting fluoride in water, but actually what's put in water is called fluorosilicic acid. It's not F minus, it's H₂SiF₆, and it's a byproduct of phosphate rock and sulfuric acid. Who wants to drink sulfuric acid? What a crazy thing. And the government is well aware of what's going on here, so they put out press releases. This is how coordinated PR works, and what they show is that the CDC says that fluoride is one of the 10 great public health interventions of the 20th century, and absolutely amazing. The reality is, and I just did a quick search and put a couple of scientific references into this PowerPoint. And you can see from the headlines here that I'm showing you, fluorosilicic acid induces DNA damage. It also causes dental fluorosis, which is when people's teeth get the nasty streaks on them. It also is considered a critical risk factor for pineal gland calcification. Now, if you don't know about the pineal gland and you think it's just something spiritual, I've got a comment for you on that. So my pineal gland, in my understanding of what I've lived, decalcified around 2013. And what that looked like is I started to get warm feelings, tingles in the top part of my head, and I would just have a knowing. And the knowing would cause me to change roads and avoid a massive pileup that had happened, or it would give me intuition about something that was going on. And the pineal gland is a really important part of the human body, and calcifying it covers it over and it keeps us from having that overall awareness. So I feel pretty passionately about that one. So what are we to do with this ruse that's going on where the spokespeople are saying we're putting fluoride in water, but we're actually putting this acid in the water? Well, the first thing is the best solution for it is banning it. And Utah just banned fluoride. That's what actually prompted me to create this video. And, listen to what they said. They said that the fluoride that's put in water is a waste product from mining operations that's hazardous, poisonous material containing lead and arsenic. This is not me saying this. This is from NBC News. It has to go through a rigorous dilution process, and it's a big threat to the operators who work for the water company. There's a judge who ruled on it, and what he said is that the fluoride being put in drinking water at the concentrations that are called for posed an unreasonable risk to children's developing brains, and fluoride is associated with reduced IQ. It shouldn't be stated as fluoride. It should be called fluorosilicic acid, so we know what we're actually talking about. Now, other than banning, the next opportunity is to treat fluoride yourself. And one way you can do that is with the Alexapure Pro water filter, which is available on the wellnessenterprise.com. And what I like about this is Alexapure has been laboratory tested by an accredited laboratory, and they didn't just test fluorine or some substitute version of fluoride to see if their filter was a good tool for removing the fluorosilicic acid. They tested fluorosilicic acid, and they got a 95% reduction, which is really super impressive because the various versions that are called fluoride are very difficult to take out of water, and getting a 95% reduction is really excellent. Now, this next concept that I'm going to share with you might blow your mind a little bit. And, I recently had 3 pieces of information come together. And when I got them together, like I knew it, but now I really know it. So the first is that in 1906, the Rockefellers funded the General Education Board, and they began tying funds to an agenda. So if you're going to educate people, you have to be in alignment with the Rockefellers' agenda to receive the funding that comes through the government. The second goes back a little bit further in history, and that's when we used to have very strong medical schools and very strong homeopathic schools. And that's when the AMA was funded. We all think of the AMA as like this impartial agency that's like there on behalf of health, but it's not. It's there to protect the medical schools and to extinguish everyone who teaches anything other than the one way that the medical schools say to teach things. So the thinking around homeopathy has been just driven out of this world for about 175 years. And it's a really important principle, the underlying dynamics of homeopathy when it comes to water filtration, because what homeopathy shows is you take a physical substance like arsenic and you put it in water, and then you shake it 100 times, and then you dilute it by taking a dropper and taking some of the water out of there and putting it in the next container. Fill it up with water, shake it 100 times, and keep the dilution process going. By the time you repeat this 26 times, the physical substance of arsenic is gone, but the homeopathic arsenica has been activated. And this is a tool that can be used to help you if you have arsenic poisoning. And so what this shows is that even if you reduce a toxin by 95% in water, which is great to get that concentration down, or even 99.9 or even 100%, you always leave the energetic signature. And this may come as like a woo-woo concept or something that you're not that familiar with, because there's been an agenda from our education and from our medical schools to force out this type of thinking. So I've been involved for the last dozen years in an industry that calls itself the structured water industry. It has to do with changing the energetics of water. It's based on the principles of homeopathy and the principles shown by Dr. Emoto in his famous water crystal photographs. And what it is that you take natural elements, like this is shown on the screen here as an aqua energizer. It's made from copper and crystals and minerals. It's very simple, and it's based on precise mathematics, sacred geometry, and vortexing. And when you spin water through one of these devices, you create water that is alive and strong and vital and sustaining of life. It's not very profitable for corporations to teach people about this, but it's really healthy for biology. And so the way you can get to the final part of clearing the energetic signature of any toxin, fluoride or other, that's left in your water is by having a structured water device like the aqua energizer. So don't be fooled by what the government is telling you and by what corporations are telling you. The fluoride in water is not fluoride, and there are solutions. We need to work together politically to ban fluoride, and we need to consider on a one-on-one basis, like what's right for our homes, our families, the people that we love. Do we filter? Do we structure? Do we do both? If you have any questions, please leave them below the video comments, and I'll be keeping an eye on it and responding. Thanks so much.